Yo, what's up? Um, I am going to. I'm going to. I'm going to try to explain something here. And you see the title, okay? You saw the title of the video, okay? You know what I'm about to say, okay? Um, yeah, sometimes. I think it's important sometimes to be messy, okay? I'm not finna act like that. Like being messy is a 100% positive. Okay, I'll be real with you. I don't think it's that big of a positive, but there are positives. Okay, there are positives. Okay, one of my friends, a couple of my friends actually, during a trip, they were like, Isaiah, why are you so messy? Why are you always asking these questions? Why you always question? Why you always all these question? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I want to know the information. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? What's the tea, right? But at the same time, I understand how it could be um, problematic, right? Because here's the thing, right? It's also it's not, I think of I'm thinking of it now, and I'm like I get it, right? It's also the fact that you're asking a question in the first place means that you're unsure, which also means that like it's not obvious to you you know what I'm saying, which is a whole thing in itself before we even get to the point of you asking the question, right? But that also means that what if the other person, right, that you're talking this with, what if they don't know the information that you're about to spill, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, okay. Oh, it's hair. I was like, what is that? That's hair. Yes, I have random spots like this where it's just a thing of hair. Just a thing of hair. Just one part hair. Smooth hair. Hello? Who? Whatever, man. It's just and it just bothers me, dog. Okay? The point is that sometimes some information needs to be talked about, right? For me, I was asking questions because if I'm assuming two people are, and this is usually with relationships. So I with seeing watching other people's relationships. Usually for me, I'm like, all right, look, I'm like, I can see two. I'm not gonna ask questions if I'm just normally assuming that they're going out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really start asking questions until I'm having contradicting thoughts about two pieces of information that I have in my brain. Do y'all understand this? Y'all understand this? I'm really trying to, because I'm not trying to bring astrology into this, but this is kind of like the issue that people have with Gemini placements is that they can feel a little two-faced simply because sometimes they're just asking questions, clarifying questions to make sure that they're getting all the information correctly. That's what I think personally when it comes to like the Gemini placements, right? They're trying to get information. They're trying to make sure everything matches in their head, and make sure nothing's disconnected in their. At least for me, I'm trying to make sure nothing's disconnected in my brain. I'm trying to make sure that my jumps of logic make sense. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that my brain process, and when I go from one thought process to another, I want to make sure that is as clean and connected as possible. Y'all get what I'm talking about here? I'm trying to make. I need that. I need that to be very clean and connected. Otherwise, I can't fully like engage in the full energy if I don't feel I don't feel like something's stopping me from fully just believing in what I'm seeing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's with anything. Maybe that's why I'm not mentally okay. But we don't have to get into that right now. What the point of what I'm trying to say is like basically just sometimes some information needs to be talked about because some things are just weird. Some things are contradicting my brain, which means that like if it's contradicting my brain and I know I'm not that much of a unique individual. You know what I'm saying? I know I have my uniqueness, but like when it comes to my thought process, there's other people who think like me. I know that for sure. For a fact, actually. So with that logic in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, so if there's a contradiction in my brain, I need to figure out what's going on. I should ask people that question that I'm comfortable asking the question with, right? But this is where the dichotomy and the struggle of being in community is, right? At least in general. I can broaden it out to be like in general, like when you're in community, you're gonna wanna understand each other. But sometimes other people don't want you understanding other people. But it's like, how am I supposed to be in community with you people? That sounds crazy. Not you people. You get the point, okay? I love how you people has been synonymous with whoa, buddy. What you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying being in I should say being in community with fellow black people, right? Personally, in my own personal experience, right? I've had to check myself multiple times, right? Many times. Even literally just right now, I had to check myself because this is a continuous thing. This is not easy to do, right? And I don't expect I don't expect to be rewarded for this. Really, if I'm being like I love how this got. It's for me. This started off a high note. I'm getting a little too deep here, but you get the point, okay? You know what I'm saying? I do it because I want to be in community with people. I want to feel like I can be me and still be shown that same level of care and respect that I think every human being deserves, you know? Like sometimes being you means like you have to go through uh triggering situations. You have to go through moments. You have to go through being exposed to certain things. Maybe people exposing you for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. It happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the black male space. Like being a black man and being vulnerable. Let's be real, man. We've gotten a lot better Gen Z wise. Gen Z has gotten a lot better at this as black men, but like we are still trying to figure this out, right? And we've only gotten to this point because the black women in our lives have helped us to make sure that we've gotten to this point, right? Or at least have purposely helped us or maybe accidentally helped us, you know what I'm saying, by being traumatic pieces of shit. But that's a personal anecdote. The point is that in some way, shape, or form, a black man had to be forced to learn empathy. Not forced, but like it's not inherent in the culture for a black man to be taught empathy. So when a black man is purposefully or accidentally taught emotional maturity or empathy through their natural upbringing, it feels like you're the like as a black man, it feels like you're the only one who is seeing the world in a different in a different light completely. I don't know. It's odd to me. Like for me, it's like I like obviously like I've had my background is my background. If you look at my Twitter and you go back to 2018 and 2019, that era, obviously, bruh, like obviously a nigga had to start from somewhere, right? But like he had, and the fact that I had to start from that point, and even like, but I was what's interesting about me, I believe, is that like I could have been worse, right? And I think that's what scares me is like I could have been worse, but I could have also been better. But I also at the same time I had to learn what I had to learn to get to where I am now. And I'm actually very happy at where I am right now. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like I had to learn that. I had to have that mentality being on the internet and being on the internet at such a young age. I was like 18, 19 on the internet, and I barely had any interaction with the internet up until that point. So, I should say I had unregulated access to the internet. Before that, I had regulated access. This was unregulated, so all my opinions were out there in the wild because I just was hiding behind a profile picture. I don't know if any of you guys who've been there have been there when that happened, but I had a different profile picture. I had a different screen name. I went through a lot of changes in my online personas. Um, I think a lot of people have, though. To be honest, I think a lot of black men who are like me probably have. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. And I'm trying to figure this out now. I've been thinking about it for recently this year about I how I got to this point. I've been thinking like, how did I get to this point? How did I go from huh? You know, and I was just thinking like, damn, like that's all the experiences I've had up until this point have driven me to this point. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Including the positive things, right? Me being the person I am and me standing up for what I believe in now wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the foundation I had growing up, right? But the foundation I had was still rocky and full of cracks. But there was a foundation, right? There was a foundation, which I think is fascinating to me. It's like, you know, there was a foundation. Hmm. Anyway, yeah. That's that. I've been thinking about this. I might start doing this. Um, but yeah, I gotta start doing these more because I haven't. I actually want to just yap. There's a lot I could yap about. I just need to be able to just give myself time to sit down and talk, right? People like yap videos, I guess. I don't know if my views is gonna translate that, but like I see them. You know what I'm saying? I watch the occasional yap video, right? Um, so I guess it'd be better if it was a get ready with me. Should I do that? Should I do those? I don't know how I would do that. I would just have to look at the on my phone and then like it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's really possible right now. You know, it's actually it's a very real possibility. I'm not. Hold up. Wait. Ladies. Chill. Chill. I understand. I know this is a big deal for y'all. But hold on, okay? Before you pull out your vibrators. No, 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 no. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, it was a joke. I'm a comedian. Remember, guys, I'm a comedian. Obviously, I'm a comedian. That's my armor. Okay, don't take away my armor. I'm a comedian. I'm funny. So, yeah. Did y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw y'all saw how I reacted to the idea of getting backlash that I said something that was might possibly a little iffy. Like I said before, this is possibly one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. For good reason. It should be. I feel like this I think I wouldn't feel human partially. Like I partially wouldn't feel human if this if I wasn't doing this. If I wasn't trying to actively take the step to try to be a better person and try to like be aware of what I'm saying when I say it. Or if I do say it, I'd be like, okay, let me make sure not to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I guess it's also being aware of the fact that you can say something in a moment and that thing not be fully accurate as to how you're thinking, right? I saw this. There was this video. Uh, Crazy tangent. I'm sorry, but this is real. This is real life. This is what I'm thinking right now. I don't know. Some of y'all probably like, just get to the point, nigga. Damn. The point is, okay, bitch. Sorry, the sass came out too fast. Why am I doing this video, man? Fuck. Okay. The point is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. This is it. This is fun. I don't know. I think I lost my point. For anybody who was actually listening and trying to understand where I was coming from. I'm sorry. I lost the point. This is what you're going to have to deal with if you're going to listen to my channel. If you're going to watch my channel, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Okay. This is exactly what it's like talking to me in real life. I promise you, it's like this. Everybody who knows me in real life, this is what it's like to talk to me in real life. Okay, I have these trains of thoughts, and then something distracts me, and then now my brain doesn't want to go back to where it started. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I go back because I'm really locked in, but sometimes I just lose the plot, and it's GG. I'm thinking about something completely. My brain just lost. I'm like, okay, well, great. I had a great point, and then I got distracted, and then the point. This is what being undiagnosed looks like. Maybe I haven't went to a doctor for it yet, but I'm pretty sure I got something in a family of ADHD or autism. Probably ADHD. I feel like when I say ADHD to myself, it's like my brain responds back with, "That one makes sense." When I say autism to myself, my brain is like, maybe it's possible, but like when I say ADHD, I'm like, that one hits. Especially when I started actually taking like effort into like studying what ADHD is from actual psychiatrists and doctors and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but like I'm not letting it dictate my life, either. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just living my life, and if something comes up where there's a miscommunication, I'll be like, I might have ADHD, and this might be the issue. So if it's real, so you know what I'm saying. So I feel like you should be aware that this is a possibility for me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, also, I wasn't planning on wearing all purple today, but this is what I'm wearing because I'm in my room and I'm not, and nobody is seeing me besides y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I like purple. What do you want me to say? Funny thing though, get close when I tell you this. Interestingly enough, um, interestingly enough, right? I wear purple. My aunt wears purple. My grandma wears purple. Rest in peace, my other grandma on my dad's side. Rest in peace. She wore purple as well. What's going on here? What's really going on here? Cause why do we all just like purple? I don't know. I don't know. My favorite color used to be blue when I was younger, and then I adopted purple because of my grandmother that died. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, I really like purple, but like I didn't expect my grandma, my living one. I ain't expect her to also like purple, which is like that's a surprise. It's like purple just it's like purple follows me. It's like the color purple is just not the movie. Well, I haven't actually watched the movie Color Purple. I know. As a black man, it's embarrassing. I know. I'm sorry, but ow. The point is that purple and me are synonymous with each other. This lifetime, I've dedicated my life to just be in love with the color purple. I don't know. I just like purple. I don't know. I like purple. I think purple is a good color on black people. Purple and gold. My God, the melanin off the skin is just. Who does it better? Technically, I hate to have to do that, but like I say mentally, like my brain is also like, damn, like well, we're all human, and we all look good with purple and gold. It's not. It's just because we're so used to like color theory, and actually that is something that should be studied more about the history of where color theory came from, because I'm pretty sure it came from somebody that was probably racist. Hopefully not, but that's probably where it came from. Let's be real. All right, let's be real. Let's collect. um. Yeah, man. All right, y'all. This is it. This is it for me right now. I'll come back probably next week or something and do like a because we're now out for break. I have a finals. I have one finals test, and you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, um, I don't know. This semester has been great. If y'all want to know, I I am. This is probably the lowest. Like this is a weird semester for me. This is a weird semester for me. Like last semester academically I was great, but socially I didn't feel that great. This semester socially I felt great, but academically, yeah, it's not looking great. It's hard to like this is, and I think this is what I don't know if this is a ADHD thing or whatever, but like it feels like to me that socially I am like not socially, sorry, but like it's sometimes it's hard to like it's like I'm trying to find that balance, if that makes sense, that balance between social and emotional. Oh, actually, I should take that emotional, right, and logical, right, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to be like logical is hard because when you using logic, like you can have logic and still be wrong. That's something that I learned, that I had to learn like on my own, not on my own, but like I had to learn naturally by making that mistake and then somebody telling me, right? But I didn't. It didn't really catch up to me until later when I saw more examples of it, right? But like being able to use logic like logic, the rules to logic is completely specific to the person or ideology who the logic is speaking for. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? In the comments, okay? In the comments, tell me, am I wrong or not? Because I genuinely feel like if you have the right logic, you can have all the right logic in the world. Just because it connects a dot from here to here to here to here, that doesn't mean that there's other dots that also connect to this one point. You get what I'm saying? You found a connection. Great. However, however, you know what I'm saying? Great. You know what? You found a connection. This is why I had to. This is something that I had to tell myself. Like this is why I'm able to say this, because I've told myself this, and other people have told me this, right? So I had to reiterate that because they were right, and I had to realize that they were right. Great. You found a connection between something and something else. But just because that there's a connection between those two does not also mean there's other things connecting to those things. There is a web of things connecting to each other. Let's let's really think about that. Let's really think about that. Okay? You found your way. You found a path forward. Logically thinking. Logically, right? You found the way forward logically. But that does not mean that the way forward in that logic is the actual good way forward. You know what I'm saying? That is a way forward. That is not the only way forward. I can't. I can't talk too long. I can't talk too long. It's gonna be an hour long. I'm gonna be yapping about this bullshit. Look, look. All I want y'all to do is just think about it. Just think. Just, just think. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that idea. About the idea that how logic works is completely dependent upon the logic you make. If you want there to be logic there will be logic there. But logic does not mean that your train of thought is the actual correct train to get to where you to get to where, you know what I'm saying, it's natural for you to go that way, but for you to actually make a decision and change as a person, you have to find a new way of thinking. You can't keep the same way of thinking and then change paths within that framework of thinking. You have to go outside the framework of thinking to change who you are, to truly change as a person, right? You have to engage with somebody else's framework of thinking to see how like is your framework does your framework make it easier for you to interact with this person or harder, right? And it depends on what you want from life, but like That's how I look at it personally. Yeah, this is all my opinion. Don't you know what I'm saying? You can believe me, you cannot believe me. I don't care. I'm just yapping, y'all. Um, if y'all know my history, you know my internet history, you know that I love to yap, and that's the problem with me. That's why I'm just might as well just do it on YouTube. I haven't done it really on YouTube before. I mean, I have, but not to like a, you know what I'm saying? Just camera. I haven't really done that in a while. I mostly talk about like nerd stuff, but just have a channel where I can just talk about anything. I see why YouTubers do it. I see why YouTubers do it. All right, I'll see y'all in the next video.